We can turn it on later on. Hello everybody there out there. We I think people are afraid of speaking out. I saw to some back in the early age. I think it was in the beginning of my period as an activist. I saw what they could say to me was the polar opposite of what they really said. They even turned on themselves. I think I need some water. I think they turned on themselves because they were afraid to talk out. It's I've been talking out, and obviously I have regretted what I was saying. It was too blunt, too much, but who is to decide? I will encourage people today. Maybe it's why I'm doing this. Why not only one stand while the rest is sitting there and entertain themselves with the bullshit? Are you that kind of person? I don't blame you. But you see, it's a calling. I don't believe that you should do it because just for the fun of it. You can do that too. It's fun. It's exciting. It's depressing. It's everything. To be an activist like me, the way I have been doing it. And I don't like to brag so much. I brag, obviously. I want to bring attention to what I am saying. To me, I'm a confused little guy. So how to figure it out? I don't know. It's a never-ending figuring out of yourself. I think sometimes you need to just let go who you are. You can't figure it out completely. But if you are that kind of activist that I saw people back then turn. They were so proudly, what is that kind of a word? You may explain that. Don't give me words that I can't understand. Proudly. Proudly. Out to me, out to those that befriended him or just were his audience by that time. I don't remember specifically, but it was whoever that was regarded. That they were very strong in their mind. But when it came to show that it was a meeting that we should decide over that issue, completely turn around. Why is that? It's kind of a bogus altogether. I don't know that. If you can't, I mean to say you can change your opinion. That's honest. You can change. It's sometimes needed. To change your opinion is sometimes very much needed. it doesn't take the whole life to just state one point. I think that many Christians that came to believe in Jesus, they are very stubborn regarding life and so on. Like divorce. I don't want to talk so much about that, but it's obviously a conundrum for the Jewish people that or the rabbis that knows very much of that. That within the Christianity community you can't separate, you can't divorce. Yes, for them, as they said, it's law for that. If you divorce and marry again, you should spend 1 year together with this new wife. You should spend 1 year. You shouldn't send this guy to war. You should keep him home and let him bond with his new wife. So I saw these rabbis that asked themselves a question: why are they so strict regarding divorce? Obviously, no one wants to divorce. It's why do you marry in the first place if you want to divorce? You don't fool around. You don't play around. But sometimes we have to realize that it was a mistake. It's a honest mistake, that too. I don't want to defend myself and so on. It's not good for me to talk about it because I honestly, I don't want to have anything to do with some leadership or something, because in the first place I wouldn't do it, but in the second place you can criticize me on many different points and I will be subjected to criticism, and I want that, of course I want, but sometimes one shouldn't be criticized for personal decisions. That is that is how it is. So you can change your opinion, and it's a personal thing that you can change your opinion. But when when you confront those guys in the afterwards, you say, "What did you say?" You completely turn around. Oh, you see, this is the explanation, and they come up with all sorts of bogus argument, bogus explanations. So you see, people are afraid to just speak out. They can do it when everyone defends. What is that? That is cowardly acting. Who is doing that? My friends, don't be a coward. If you are afraid to say this, what you say to someone, but you can say it to your friends, don't do that. Keep it within. It's slandering. It's if you can't say it to the highest court, if you can't say it to the right person that is involved, that you wanted to say something to him or her or someone, that you are only talking with your friends, your allies. One shouldn't have allies, my friends. I regard allies as a corruption. If you are my ally, I think the concept is that we are both corrupted. And an activist will be very sensitive to allies. Even more sensitive to allies than the opponent. Because it's kind of given that in the end you will feel betrayed. who was that about? I think someone... You can go so far thinking you have friends, you have allies that will defend your case. I did that in Kongsberg, in my birth town. All those that agreed with me, I was the only one that stood up and told the highest court in that church, if you can call it court, those that you may fear to tell the truth. It's how it is. Someone you fear to tell the truth because you are a single person. I'm only me. I was looking in the beginning. I was looking around. Who is defending my case? No one did defend my case. Yet those that didn't defend my case, they brought the case to me. So, when they saw the reaction, they are waiting to see the reaction. If Ole is conveying our message, we see the reaction, and if the reaction is no, then we pull back. So they left me in the fire. What a joke of people. If they are listening to this, they will most probably deny everything to do with that. So I told them single-handedly. I went home to some of them, even though it was family. It was in the middle of the family. And those people I held high. I had highly respect for them. But maybe not after some time. Not that much, at least. People are human beings. And your fight is not their fight. I went to them because it was a case, it was different cases that we felt important to bring forth to the church. And I saw on one of them that was ally, so to say, that how he interacted in a debate. It was the most awkward thing I have seen. He hadn't this perspective that he could listen. One should learn from that. I had my papers and everything. And when they talk about we Christians shouldn't fight, we shouldn't criticize, we Christians should be honoring each other, not backstabbing or what they called it, criticize. We all do the best in the sight of God. And, all this bullshit they came up with. And that will obviously provocate very much, because they are the ones that needed to listen to our words. In some cases you have to say that plainly. You can't come to a table without that kind of attitude that you in the end I have nothing to say, it's okay, you look at me as nice man, am I okay for you? No, no, that is coward. You have to say it, and say it straight. So I went home to some of them, and I said in two occasions, we can't sit here. It was regarding church, the church community. We can't sit here, I told them. it is not right to sit here and talk, because they call us, they name us out as we are that we are slandering around. We are talking back. We are we are talkers. We are not. So I said, they will be given. They have. If we do this, if we talk in the shadow, we will be acted as those that can't be brave enough to bring it forth. So I said we need to unite in order to have some strength, power for the case that we are talking about. If not, it's just Ole, it's just him, her. So we will not be heard. We have to bring this to the church. We have to bring this to the elders. We need to talk with them openly and honestly. And they had to agree. They had to agree. What do you do with what you believe in? Do you just slander around? No. You fight for it. So those people that they dimmed, they say, in as much as they didn't do anything, they were only talkers. In as much as they slander around, talking like they did, we were called the negative ones. So they in fact proved them right. They were very negative people. They were proven right. In as much as they just talked around like they did, the less they did, the less they... So if you want to convey a case, and if you want to have some... you have to be very cautious of the route you are following. You can't talk all around. If it's an obvious case, you may talk with people that may defend that, but in some cases you have to be alone. And in my case, I ended up alone. I was the only one that was brave enough to bring it forth to the elders, forth to the church, the whole congregation. We had this specific church meeting, member meeting, and I brought it there. I was even chased down from the platform because I was straight by the pastor. By the pastor. So my friends, if you have something to... If you want to be an activist, don't fool around with your opinions. If you have some specific opinions, be honest, be brave. If you believe in your, if you have more, you don't need so much to think that you are a professional. You don't need to have some PhD to have some cases to... You see, people with PhD or something that seem to be familiar in our church, they were voted in. They were elected because of their high status. They had a lot of money, they had a good job, and the status were intact. And Hilde came to me and said, Ole, we have thought of you as our elder. And I was the one that was bringing all these letters. I wrote my opinions and sent it to them. I spoke with them in the degree that they opened up for that. And I talked them straight to their face. And one of the elders, the same elder, said that we shouldn't be looking for faults in each other. We should look for love. And that kind of shit went a long way, obviously, in the church. That all those that had some criticism, some opinions about what should and shouldn't be done, they were looked at as very negative, as some backstabbers or whatever it was that they thought of them. So in the case of an immature congregation, in that case, the congregation is based, let's say it's a church, but you can take any other organization. It's based on facts, it's based on transparency, it's based on that you can trust those that are elected, that the elected are doing their duty regarding what they should do, what they are elected for. So that went not so far within the church. They were just smilers. I don't know. It was like that. So people are cowardly, not coming ahead because they may feel that they have not that kind of skills, education, PhD, and all this kind of stuff. Still, we have this PhD complex that you aren't educated enough to have some opinion. That's their opinion. That's the peak of arrogancy. That if you meet some PhDs or someone that worship them, they say that this guy have nothing to say because he have no degree, he have no education, he have no scholarship. Do you need a school in order to, or an education to have some opinion? Even as an infant, small child, they have opinions, mostly about right and wrong. Mostly about right and wrong. And that was also my case, right and wrong. We are all on a journey on right and wrong. How do we deal with the unjust? Some of my videos is all about the unjust that is happening to us in life. You don't get to be a Christian, you don't get to be a believer, you don't get to be something just to avoid the unjust. You can lose a child, you can lose a limb, you can lose a wife, you can lose a husband, you can lose a friend, you can lose so much, you can lose your job, your employment. You can be backstabbed, you can be slandered on, you can lose everything, like a job. But how do we deal with the unjust? Are we silenced? We talked here the other day, some of us, that many of those that are silent, you don't hear from them, you don't know so much, and it's a silent crime. Sometimes it's a silent cry because you don't know. There are no one to open up that that door. The door to the silent people is a task. Maybe they will only let in one or just one unique person in their life, just to open up, to talk. That is okay. And I heard that some silent guy that didn't say much, he took his own life. Wouldn't you defend those people? Wouldn't it be a higher degree if you don't have something to defend yourself with? Why not defend other people? People differ between. That is maybe the change that people, when they are attacked, personally attacked, when they are personally losing something, they defend themselves. But when everybody is losing and they are not, they have no agenda, they have no drive to defend. That is for the politicians. That is for why have we elected politicians? Is it to have politicians that defend only themselves? I think so. I think those politicians that are elected now are mainly defending themselves. Those that are in the administration are mainly, when they are criticized, defending themselves. People should be more aware that all the administration in the country, in the city, in the town, in the church, in the organization, all of the elected ones should be defending you, should be defending the little people, the innocent, the little, the vulnerable, everyone, that they are there to keep, to protect, to serve. Their work is not PhD, administrator, HR chief. Yeah, they are that because it is a service. The politicians, the doctors, they are all servants. Why are they there? To defend their salary? To defend their job? Get the hell out of there, my friends. So when you have nothing to fight for, you fight only for yourself, and that is okay. But if you have this drive to defend people that are vulnerable, that have loosened their rights, one should defend them. That is the right way. When you can defend more than yourself, something else than yourself, your property, that is the blessing for everybody.